Hello, everybody. I was talking to my new friend Gavin, who was on my squad at a Steel Challenge match, and he is going to shoot his first USPSA match. And I told him I would make a video about things people should know for their first USPSA match. And because I know a lot of people show up to their first match and they don't feel prepared. So here's a video. It's not going to be all encompassing, but I'm going to try to give you some things to help you feel a little bit better. I've already recorded this video once and I ran out of storage in the middle of it. So I have deleted some videos, and now here's round two. So I'm going to re-lubricate my vocal cords. So I hate talking about gear. Let's get the gear talk out of the way. Have something to put your gun in like this that just holds the gun, either a pouch like this, or lately I've made an investment in a Harbor Freight, like Pelican style case to put my guns in. No magazines, just the gun, so that I can go to the safe table. That box is safe to have at the safe table. Get my gun out, put the gun on. Magazines, I'd say four is an appropriate number. One in the gun, two on your belt, one in your pocket. One in your pocket just in case everything happens to go to crap. You got one there, so you're not completely screwed. I would have double the amount of rounds you think you need for a USPSA local match. That's probably 300 rounds. You're probably going to need 150 at a minimum to complete the match. 300 is probably a pretty good number to have on you. Eye protection, ear protection. Um, pretty much the basic stuff. Uh, I would recommend having a cart, some sort of wagon. Like here in Texas, we have Academy, and they have good priced wagons. So I'd just go buy a cheap wagon to put your bag on and anything else you have. Um, I would also have a small cooler, something that can hold 4 or 5 bottles. Maybe I like applesauce, maybe beef jerky. You know, usually I don't even like, unless it's just really hot outside, I usually don't even put ice in it. It's just something to contain the bottle. So it could just be in a plastic bag or something like that is fine. But you're going to want to have something to eat, something to drink. Cliff bars are another good idea. Some sort of improved drink like Gatorade or Body Armor. A couple bottles of that, a couple bottles of water, some Cliff bars, some applesauce, some beef jerky, just something in case you get really hungry. You got something. And obviously, we're in Texas, so liquid is not a bad idea. Um, so that's things you should have going to your first match. A hat, also. I think most people in Texas wear like trucker hats. So just something to keep the sun out of your eyes. So when you get to the match, before you do anything, you're going to go straight to the person with the tablet and say, I am so and so. And they're going to say, great, you're in squad, whatever. You're shooting this or that. Divisions are pretty easy. Like if you're shooting a gun that has a red dot that doesn't have a magwell or a compensator or a hammer, it's probably going to be carry optics. You can shoot some hammer fired guns and carry optics. It has to be a double action, a double single. It's a really nuanced thing. Just if you're not like if it's a Glock with a red dot and that's all it is a Glock pistol that you've put a red dot on, it's going to be carry optics. Um, if it's a 2011 style gun, it's going to be limited optics unless it has a compensator. Any gun with a compensator is automatically an open division. Um, and it is more than acceptable to say, I signed up for carry optics. I don't understand the rules. This is my first match. This is my gun. Can you just make sure I'm in the correct division? Like, there's nothing wrong with telling the person that has the tablet that. You can only play the first match card once, so I say play it early and often. Tell everybody that you come in contact with that it's your first match. You're going to get a lot of unsolicited advice. A lot of it's probably not going to be very good, but always be nice about it. Say, thanks for telling me that. But if someone says, oh, you have to have the Trigger Tech Ace because you're shooting a Glock, be like, oh, thanks for telling me. I'll look into it. Like, you don't need that. But you're going to get comments like that. Oh, you need to adjust the recoil springs, or you need to, like, I'm just here to shoot the match. It's like, thanks for your concern. So kind of that's the thing when you tell people it's your first match, you might get some good advice. You might get some not so good advice. Just be nice about all of it. They will probably have a new shooters meeting where they will explain the rules in more detail to the new shooters. So that's why I say tell them that it's your first match. Then usually they'll have a shooters brief for everybody where they just kind of explain the layout if there's anything weird going on. Um, then you go to your first stage. At your first stage, and you should be gunned up already. Like you can put your gun on like after you talk to the tablet person or after you do the shooter's briefing or whatever. It's like go to the safe table, take your gun out, put it in your holster, then go to your car and put your magazines on your belt. Um, you know, put maybe 2 magazines in your pocket. One of them is what you're going to load the gun with. The other one's going to stay there. When you get to your first stage, there will be a sheet of paper that will tell you how many rounds it takes to complete the stage. It'll tell you where the start position is, and it will tell you how many shots per target, and it will have a picture of the stage. There might be some other information, but those are really the important things. Like how many shots per target, you need to know that. It's likely going to be 2. It could be 1 or 3. So just say it'll say best 2 hits score, best 3 hits score. You just need to know that. Start position would usually be either standing anywhere inside the shooting area. It could be feet touching start stick, or it could be handgun like on a barrel or something. You're just going to do whatever it says to do. It is important to do what it says to do when the RO tells you to do it. We'll get into that. But just know you need to like know that information from this piece of paper. Like if it says feet touching start position, handgun loaded and holstered, wrists below belt, just know that whenever the RO says make ready, you're going to load the gun because it says loaded and holstered. You're going to put your feet on the stick and you're going to put your wrists below your belt to show him that you're ready. If you're not ready, a pro tip is just keep your hand on your gun. Like if you're thinking about something, whatever, keep your hand on your gun. Then when you go wrist below belt, that tells the RO that he can start to uh, give you more commands. If you have any doubt on whether the RO has told you to make ready, turn around, look them in the eyes, and say, "I didn't hear you. Did you say to make ready? I just want to make sure this is my first match. I don't want to get DQ'd." There's nothing wrong with that. As an RO, like I can tell you, I've never been like annoyed by someone asking for confirmation that I gave them permission to pull their gun out, because that's the only thing I'm really concerned about at someone's first match is keeping them from pointing a gun at themselves or anyone else. Um, After you read that sheet of paper, you'll usually get 5 minutes to examine the stage and come up with a plan. This is where the start position and the number of shots and number of rounds comes important. So you will go to the start position. There will likely be a line. Just get in line. If all 5 people in front of you in line go to the left to start, probably not a bad idea to just go to make it easy. Just like for your first match, there's really nothing wrong with copying other people's stage plans. And then you'll see the first few targets and you'll go count them like this. This is a specific one. Go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Even if it says 2 per target, don't go 2, 4, 6, 8. Or if it says 3 per target, 3, 6, 9, 12. Count them individually. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then go to the next position where you can see 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. It's like pretty easy there. That's why you count them. Count until you're done. So even if it says 25 and you get to 31, that means that you double engage some target somewhere. That's not really the end of the world, but you don't want to just count to 25 and think you're done, because if you double engaged one target, you may miss another target, and it's way better to double engage than fail to shoot at. Um, as far as reloads, like your first match, there is no shame in doing standing slide lock reloads. Like if you've got 17 round mags and you get to the 18th shot and the gun's at slide lock, like nobody's going to say, "Oh, it's his first match. He's never going to make it in USPSA because he did a slide lock reload." Like, no, my first match was miserable, and now people watch my videos on YouTube. Tens of people watch my videos, so like that's kind of the thing. It's a difference from steel challenges that you're going to have a plan. Really, the important part of the plan is just have an idea of where every target's at. If you get done and you didn't shoot at one target, say, "Great, I'm getting better at stage planning," and move on. Another one is After, so you will not be the first shooter when you're new. Usually they will let you shoot last if you're a new shooter. After the person shooting is done, they will say, "It finished, unload, show clear," which is when you rack the slide and show them that there's nothing in it. You take the magazine out, rack the slide, show that it's empty. If clear, hammer down, point it at the berm, pull the trigger, holster. Then the RO will say range is clear. You should help reset the stage unless you are like about to shoot or you just shot. Um, you don't want to tape poles until you know that that target's been scored. As a new shooter, a great way to help reset if you're worried about that is go reset like steel. If there's a popper or something, be the guy that goes and gets the popper. Make sure you've heard the range is clear command. Go reset that popper. You're not going to repaint it between every shooter. You're just going to go stand it back up. And they're very easy. Most people can figure it out. If you can't figure it out, ask for help. Then eventually you'll get comfortable taping targets. They'll usually have tape there, but don't be the person that's sitting on your phone while there's two people out there taping and there's a dozen targets and there's two people taping. So that's kind of an important one there. Don't be that person. Once you are like 2 or 3 shooters away from shooting, it is acceptable to not tape or reset anymore. Like, get ready to shoot, make sure your magazines are loaded, things like that. And then immediately after you shoot, when they say range is clear, they're going to score. They're going to usually they'll show you the tablet. If you're not around, they may just hit approve. If you're there, they'll let you look at it and you can hit approve. Then go reload your magazines immediately. And then so usually you can reload your magazines while the shooter after you is shooting, then you can get back to helping. Um, but make sure you're ready to shoot the stage, like go get your magazines done and whatnot. Um, Another one I skipped over, when they say make ready, you're going to load the gun or do whatever they say to do. Also a pretty good idea to look at a target straight in front of you, point the gun at it while it's still empty, and check your red dot brightness and just make sure it's acceptable. You know, could be sunny or cloudy or whatever. So you're allowed to check the red dot. Once you have the make ready command, you can point the gun downrange. Um, Outside of that, while you're moving, just make sure the gun stays pointed downrange, and that your finger's coming off the trigger. Um, and it's really not that big of a deal. Kind of, those are the few housekeeping things of, have a gun bag, have 3 or 4 magazines, have double the amount of ammo you think you're going to need. 300 is a good idea. There's no shame in taking 400 or 500 if you just are really nervous. Buy a cart. Like, it's a good thing to have. Nice range bag. A little cooler to have drinks and food with you. Tell everybody that you're new. Don't touch the gun unless you're at the safe table and you have no ammo, or the RO has told you make ready and you're confident that they told you to make ready. Tell everybody you're new and take their advice. Um, let them help you. And don't worry about the result. That's probably the biggest one. Nobody cares. Nobody has a clue. I don't know how I did it my first match. I know that I forgot to shoot at a bunch of targets. That's the only thing I remember. Nobody else remembers that, because nobody cares. And just say, great, I learned my first match. Kind of the last one, I know that new shooters get really worried about the classifier. There's usually a classifier stage at every match, and you'll probably know which one it is. They may say it. Just shoot it like any other stage. Try to shoot alphas and close charlies. Don't say, oh, I'm going to go fast on this one and try to get an M class run at my first match, which is master class. Just shoot it to your current level of ability, because it doesn't matter what classification you start at. Like, you can obviously improve it. That's like the point of the sport, is to get better. And so that's kind of my advice there. If you have any questions, comment them, and I'm more than happy to answer. Thanks for watching.